it is creating a lot of worry in the ag market. And then that provides a lot of people to start thinking about cutting costs, and that's going to impact your local and small businesses.
Well, from larger operations to smaller ones, our ranchers and farmers are bracing for higher prices in the agriculture market ahead of Trump's global tariff plan. Now, just last week, our senior neighborhood reporter Bobby Portavant bringing us a story about Bernard Beef Cattle Company in Oglesby. Now, one of the ranchers you just heard from telling Bobby the tariff plan is creating a lot of stress and tension across farmland. Now, your neighborhood reporter, Heather Healy, is continuing that big story this morning for us. Heather, you spoke to a local farmer. What did they share with you?
Hey, Sade, good morning. Great story by Bobby, by the way. And President Trump's tariffs are looming, right? Especially when it comes to farming and agriculture. Take a look at this right here. Corn and soybean prices, they fell roughly 10% since those tariffs were first announced just a couple of weeks ago. However, farmers will see fertilizer prices increase because 85% of the fertilizer American farmers use, they come from Canada, which also supplies some brand nitrogen fertilizer as well. But one farmer explains how she is beating these tariff troubles. Take a look.
That's a donkey right here.
Yes.
But then we've got goats and then
sheep. Brandy Masters of Meixner Manor Farms is one of the newer farms in the area, offering a unique selection.
We all started wanting animals just because we do have enough acreage. So we were like, what should we do? Yeah. So we started getting miniatures because all the craze was getting miniature animals. And so we started with pigs. So we have coonies.
Okay.
But now we have Julianas. We found out they're even smaller. So we want to end up breeding them to create miniature coonies. But then behind me, we've got the Nigerian dwarf goats. Yeah. And so, of course, they're miniature. And then we've got the... Huh?
I'm never leaving here.
No, it's so much fun.
As cute as these can be, it costs a lot for feeding and upkeep. With President Trump's potential tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada looming, these farmers feel on edge.
If they stop the tariffs, that their prices are going to go up. And so I know people are scared about like farming equipment or feed or stuff like that will go up in price. Yeah, we're a little scared about it, but we're thinking like for our needs specifically here, just to keep buying American, just to keep it at the same low price.
But she thinks the difference in tariffs is buying American.
When it comes to keep buying American, what does that mean to you?
Just with how, like, if we're tariffing other people for our goods, well, actually we're not. We're not tariffing other people for our goods, but they're tariffing us for theirs.
Buying American is the way to go for her. Side note too, Sade, even though this is a newer farm, she is one of 65% of the farms here in McLennan County that are female-owned. So very, very cool to see. Sade?
Hey, that is very, very cool. Okay, Heather, before you go, because a lot of people ask questions, right, when we're talking about tariffs. You've done a lot of stories about tariffs, but how would these tariffs impact a farm like the one you were just at, especially in the early stages?
Yeah, and after speaking with Brandy, the number one thing, it's feed. They go through quite a bit a week, and they have to get quite a lot every single weekend. So the feed is the number one thing that they're focusing on, because look at all the animals that they have to keep on that land. It's about 21 acres of land that they've got as well. So a lot of feed to keep up. That's what they're focusing on. But again, for them to buy American, that's the way to go for them.
Really great perspective there. Also, they're more of a unique form, you would say. When it comes to the animals they sell, how much of an impact would the tariffs actually have on them because of that factor?
Yeah, again, it really all ties to that feed, right? Because of all the animals that they have, and they have quite a lot, and more are coming for sure. They really specialize in those miniature breeds, and that's really a hot commodity. So with that feed and everything tying together, that's really what's going to impact them the most on their farm.